Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's Brown by the Creek here. I haven't uploaded in about 3 weeks, and that's because I have been very, very busy. I've been doing driver's course stuff, and here soon I'm actually going to be doing the practice driving in the exam and stuff to, be able to actually drive and get a job and whatnot. All that important human adult stuff. But aside from that, I wanted to continue showing in this video what I was working on in the last video. This is my first official giant project, aside from the town hall, or the village hall that I am still working on. Uh, and I wanted to show this off a bit and show where it goes because I like this room, and considering that it's a 1.17 concept with the addition of moss, I wanted to make sure that I uploaded it before 1.18 came out, since 1.18 is going to be more of a deep dark sort centered update. I figured that the last of the caves and cliffs would probably be about today, if not tomorrow. I believe, I'm not sure, that 1.18 is June 10th, so I don't have long here. But that aside, we're working on the Lush Cave Room, which is my kelp farm, if you didn't see the last video. And I'm continuing to work on that kelp farm here. You're going to see some jumps because either A, my footage was lost, or B, I did not record it in time in order to include it in the video. I may have missed the time frame for my recording. I tend to play a bunch and then every now and then record last 15 minutes, record last 30 minutes, or even 60 minutes sometimes. And because I record that way, I sometimes I miss things, unfortunately. And there's some time frames where I just forget to record in general, which is my fault, and I'm sorry for that if there are time skips for that reason. But I work pretty hard on this cave, and it evolves. This project was supposed to be something pretty simple, and it becomes much more complex than I intended it to be. It ends up becoming more than just the kelp farm in a way. I mean, not that I still really know what to do with it, but for the most part, the majority of this room will be done in this video, and I will move on to my next project, which is the mountain. There's going to be a little bit of a time skip there because I didn't record the pathway, unfortunately, or the beginning traces of the mountain because the structure was just a skeleton. That aside, let's go ahead and actually get into the Minecraft video. It's going to be a mixture of overlays and actually me talking in game to inform you what's going on here. Relogging because my shit was lagging, but I've done some more. I'm probably gonna have some clips in between here, but I had to go repair my stuff at the Guardian farm. It seems to be lagging, but I kind of went through, added some more birch at the top, refined these, made them taller, so it kind of makes it look like it's all confined within a structure, that, that this is providing the integrity of the build. And then added a little more logs, some trap doors and slabs and whatnot throughout to try to add some variety. I started this wall here. I'm not sure what I want to do with this right here. I think I either want to make this a compartment and do a room, or maybe it'll just be nothing. I don't know. I just feel like it's a nice little fancy feature. I got this going all the way across, so now the kelp farm is entirely hidden in the terms of the actual packed ice compartment, with the exception of that. Okay, now everything's hitting. Um, I went through, the light levels are pretty okay. I might add a torch somewhere around here or maybe over there, but relatively, I think it's a pretty good light level. If I go up here, you can kind of see this. Now, the reason why I have this area is mostly because I do want to have access to the redstone, but also because I might extend my kelp farm more in terms of in this direction. So I'm starting to try to work out a nice little mock design. This is very plain. There's no gradient to any of this, and I will probably add some form of gradient or texture to the build. And so far, I think I'm going to bring this moss roof over. I'm not sure how high I want it to be. I think this might be the limit here, just to give some space between this and the actual surface soil. I'm not entirely sure yet. I do want to give some space in between this and this foliage and the actual surface, just in case. And then there is going to be, yeah, I think this is going to peek up through so you can see the foliage. I might have a little hold exposing, kind of like this continues to arch up like this until there's a hole in the roof. But I might put glass in it, or maybe I'll do fences or something. Or trapdoors, I don't know. But I do think it'd be kind of cool to have a hole there that's like exposing light. And then this design, I'll probably have some wood running through the walls and the sides, depending, with maybe some mossy stone bricks, or I might just bring the foliage down completely and have it intrude like I do here with this growing vine. I'm not entirely sure yet. This like large vine kind of thing looks like it's sort of consuming the platform, and I like that. I also might add some fences running along like here, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm still playing around with the design and trying to work it out. I think this is going to be the limit where I extend it. This will be a wall, and this will kind of wrap up into the foliage. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, still got to do some playing around and deciding exactly what I want. And I have a general idea of what I want to do with this, and you'll kind of see what I'm doing already, but I will get back to you guys when the design is finished, or maybe I'll time lapse this. I don't know. It depends. So I went ahead and I started working on the roof. I pushed this room back like I said I would, and I tried to kind of blend or gradient the vines or the moss in with the leaves, try to make it just super mossy. I know maybe I should have incorporated some stone into the build, but I wanted to exaggerate the lushness of the room, which is why you hardly see much stone outside of the areas that aren't finished or revealed. Obviously, the surface walls are exposed at the moment, and that obviously reveals stone, but later on that ends up not being the case. Most of it is covered with either moss, leaves, or stone, or not stone, wood, sorry. And I set it up with a design where I could see the daylight through the floor as if there was like a creeping window or whatever. And I like this design. The fact that I could walk into this lush room, take a little left turn from the entrance, and I could immediately see a hole with like a sort of like a well hole. The fact I could see that right away at a specific angle, that really made me happy with this build. And I was really glad I incorporated it, among many other things. I experiment here. You can kind of see me experimenting with this. I don't know what I exactly want out of it yet. Um, and I do that for some time, but eventually I settle on a design that I like, and that I eventually work on this design as well and extend upon it, but this is a design I settled with for now. Anyways, I make some minor changes at some point, but that's really all I had in this. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and let the speed lapse go. Alright, so guys, this is kind of a video where I give you guys a couple updates every now and then and let you know how I'm doing and how the progress is going. I know this is kind of like real jumpy and cutty, but, you know, I figured this would be kind of a better style rather than just individually placing blocks one by one, since it's such a ununison project. And this is a roof light I added seeping in from the top. Since the top was so close, I figured you know how to incorporate that. Brought it down. This is all subject to change. I actually might make the roof light a little larger. I think this is a lot smaller now that I have the foliage in. Originally, it looked a lot bigger than this, so I don't know. Like, this, I think this also kind of, I guess I could technically get rid of this a little bit. Maybe this foliage is a little too obstructing, potentially. And I have a giant hole in the floor here. And I'm thinking about actually bringing this down into a giant, like, little water underground utopia, sort of. Um, I think that could be a really good aesthetic. I think rather than carving out into the hole, maybe I can give it texture by building into it, rather. Potentially, I'm not sure. There we go. But I like this idea a lot. I think this adds some depth, and then I'll have to go up top and kind of add a little depth to it as well from that perspective. But I think that this gives a lot of playroom for my build, fortunately. And it's okay if some dirt is exposed here, just because Because it's so close to the actual roof or to the actual ground level. I do want some dirt to kind of peek through here. With that being said, there won't be a ton, but I do think that it would be good to have some dirt showing. I should actually show a lot more dirt and gradient it in, so it's more reasonable for the ground around it to be dirt, but perhaps I'll just moss it at the top. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, we'll figure it out. Play by ear, whatnot. I guess I could potentially also show you guys the top one here. I might as well since it's an update video. I did add some verticality to the top of this hole, though it is not much. I'm probably gonna have little pokes of wood. I have vines there and I didn't realize it. I have little pokes of wood going on, and I also have the slabs at different levels. Mangrove trees could also potentially make this look a lot better too, depending on how mangrove trees look when they come into the game. But this is kind of the verticality I have at the moment. Not all of this is visible, but I think this is a good design. It's a base at the base design. I think it has a lot of potential. I'm actually gonna trade out one of these oak here. I'm gonna trade. Let's do this one because I got rid of the other, and then put this one like over here maybe, and then. Oh, man, what happens if I bone meal this moss? Okay, it won't supersede the wood. That's good. And kind of bone meal the outer edges, make it look it's like the moss is. I don't know. Just try to give this some subtlety, like this. There's a reason why this is here, and then maybe have. Do I have my wood on me? No, I don't have the wood on me. I thought maybe do that, and then potentially add a little fence, maybe here or there. See if I can. There we go. I got it. But yeah, that's kind of what I got so far. I know it's kind of a weird update, and then I'm probably gonna dig this down a little bit. I think a time lapse would be good for something like this because it's a same thing over and over and over and over and over and over. I think a time lapse can be good, and I could talk about some stuff while doing that maybe. But I'm happy with this, and for today, I'm gonna go ahead and head off and go to bed. Another day done. Some progress has been made. I finished the rest of this room. This room isn't entirely done. There's still some other tad bits I want to do here, but now with this room done and dusted, I want to proceed on to that, which is an entirely new extension that I never thought I was going to be incorporating, but here we are. And because of this, it's going to take another day. I simply cannot continue any longer. It's 4 a.m. I've been going for far too long, and I really need to sleep. Also, it's New Year's, and yeah, just shouldn't have spent all day doing this, but I did. Anyways, I'm gonna head to bed and cut into the next clip. So, welcome back. Yet another update. I'm gonna do F1 here for a little bit. Kind of give you guys a good little view. You guys have kind of seen this room. I am pretty much done with it. Kind of gone through. I might adjust some of it, might raise it a little bit, maybe add a shroom light somewhere in here. But this is relatively finished. I still got some darker parts back here. I do like having some dark areas in here. I think it adds a little, volume between darkness and light. And I want it to contrast, not too much. I still look like I was lazy, but enough to make it look significantly different. And as you can see, I have turned this into a more of a dilapidated circle rather than a open straight one. I decided that, with this being all rustic and kind of falling apart, like the overgrowth is taking over, or more of like a natural grown overgrowth. It's kind of like, I don't want to say deteriorating the wood, but that it's sort of made it this at the very least kind of malformed, if that makes any sense. I'm kind of ranting and babbling and not really saying words that make any sense. And then I took up here, this looks interconnected and very thick and stable, like it can dangle. Now, it doesn't look super stable, like it's supposed to still look kind of flimsy, but it looks like this makes sense, like this holds. And then it's got a bunch of just kind of wooden strings kind of making their way down that provide light and also add a little bit of volume to this empty space, along with some of the vines. I try not to use vines too often here. And down there you can see where I've started another part of the build, where it's a giant well that kind of goes down pretty deep. I believe it's about a 50 block deep fall. I have fallen from it, and I do survive because the netherite feather falling 4. But it is still, I think I like this. Now,
To be honest, I don't think I'm gonna keep it all moss straight flat all the way down. I think I'm going to take some leaves and push in some of this texture a little bit in and out, add some, kind of what I do here, except maybe a little less sporadic, because I have less room to work with here. And the idea is to keep this in this similar shape. I don't want to make it too much different than this shape originally. However, I am going to include, I might also do a stone gradient. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe do some mossy stone and lead into that. But uh, I think I'm gonna have a waterfall right there, just underneath this, and it's gonna fall all the way down. There's gonna be a waterfall underneath, and maybe some wood and some moss and whatnot. I still gotta play around. This is just a temporary template to see what I can do. I think I need to kind of ease the moss a little bit into the wood here. What's that?
Alright, so I wanted to use this footage here, background Ghost Runner footage from a while ago as well, to say that I'm sorry if this video cuts randomly or that like it jumps to different segments. Like I said, this was recorded back in like New Year's time, which is like 5 months ago. And I've been kind of holding onto this footage for a long time, and now that I'm finally getting to editing it and uploading it, I'm realizing there's chunks either missing or I just didn't record. A lot of times when I play Minecraft, I listen to music, and sometimes the music happens to go through the mic because I didn't mute my mic. Stuff like that that just kind of makes it less usable. I don't think people want to hear my music in the background as I'm trying to show off the footage and stuff. So for that reason, I don't include it, or I have deleted it at one point. Not to mention that I also have to worry about DMCA, which is why I don't want to take a chance. DMCA might not actually strike me for money, obviously, since I don't, advertise my videos or monetize them. But I could still technically get striked for it if someone really cared that much about it. And for that particular reason, I just don't include those clips. I have more Minecraft footage coming. Not so much of the Lush Cave, because you have seen everything there is to see about the Lush Cave. That is done. Obviously, the pit isn't done, but I haven't had any other farms to work on that I needed yet in terms of farmable items like pumpkins or melons that I've needed so badly that I have an excuse to create another room at the bottom of the pit. And for that reason, that room is done for now. The next big project that you'll be seeing is a mixture of three things. It is the mountain project, is what I call it. However, there is a pathway to the mountain that I am still actually working on to this day. The mountain itself, and what lies on top of the mountain, the shrines. And that is probably my biggest project in the entirety of the Minecraft server, and to this day, as of June 1st, the beginning day of Pride Month, I have not finished it. And that it's not that it's that big, it's a mixture of, it is a massive project, and I also haven't gotten to play every single day since New Year's. I have played quite a bit. I think I'm nearing 1,000 hours in Minecraft, and at least 300 hours of those 1,000 is on the server, if that gives any indication as how much I've been playing Minecraft. But there's still a long way to go, and that's really all I just wanted to let you guys know. I'm still going to be uploading Minecraft, and I got plenty of Minecraft content coming, but I got also some Rust and some Apex coming at some point in the near future. Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling and extending this video longer than it needs to be. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I can entertain you in my next video, and I hope it's better than this one.